In this video, we tested 8 of the top-rated Reef Safe sunscreens of 2025 to help you figure out which ones are going to be the best fit for you. We were looking for mineral Reef Safe sunscreens so you can take them with you to Hawaii and other locations that legally require the use of Reef Safe sunscreens. And we selected 8 brands that you can get on Amazon and get them shipped right away, or you can pick them up in your local Whole Foods as the summer is officially here. What we're going to cover is their ingredients, their texture, their scent, and if they leave a white cast or not, and of course how much they cost. You're gonna see a real-time application as well. And we tested all of these sunscreens while vacationing under intense sunlight on the beach, swimming, snorkeling, hiking the volcano. And the brands we're reviewing are Thinksport, MyChelle Dermaceuticals, Better Unscented, Beauty by Earth, Mad Hippie, Stream to Sea, Little Hands, Hawaii, and Blue Lizard. Quick heads up, you can find all the Amazon links for the sunscreens in the video description below, organized from the highest to lowest rated. Mind you, those are affiliate links and we do earn a small commission, and this will help us keep making these in-depth wellness and health reviews for you guys, so thank you so much if you purchase through our link. Now in this video, we're keeping the focus only on sunscreen performance, so let's get started. First up is Thinksport. This is their sweat and water resistant SPF 50+, generally marketed for athletes, outdoor enthusiasts, and environmentally conscious consumers. This is meant for all-day water activities like snorkeling or long sweaty day trips, cycling, hiking, etc. Right now, it retails for about $13 for 3 ounces and currently is on sale on Amazon, which makes it one of the more affordable picks in this lineup. The active ingredient is 23.4% non-nano zinc oxide. It's vegan, BPA-free, cruelty-free, so no animal byproducts or testing. And it ticks all the Reef Safe boxes. It's free from oxybenzone and octinoxate, meeting Hawaii's Reef Safe sunscreen criteria. And it's also packed with skin-nourishing ingredients like aloe, hyaluronic acid, olive oil, cranberry seed oil, and vitamin E. Now, in terms of texture, it's creamy, but definitely on the thicker side. So you really have to work it in. That being said, it spreads evenly, doesn't feel oily, and doesn't leave that sticky sunscreen film like some others do. As for white cast, there is a slight white sheen at first, especially if you use a lot of the formula, but eventually it blends out. I have also noticed that if I try to reapply on damp or wet skin, the white casts become more noticeable and harder to blend in. So for the best finish, I definitely recommend applying it on dry skin whenever possible. For the scent, it's very light. There's a natural fragrance listed in the ingredients, and I personally like it. It's barely noticeable. What really impressed me though is the durability. I wore it on a few different hikes and beach days, even over tattoos and sensitive skin areas, and it held up pretty well. With my partner, we're both pretty active and sweating on our vacations, and I didn't have to reapply as often and had 0 burns by the end of the day. So that's really important to us on our trip, to be able to do sports and not burn. So overall, this is hands down one of the best value for performance picks of the bunch. I gave it an 8 out of 10 for Reef Safe sunscreen. Not a full 10 only because of the thick formula, which takes some time and effort to blend in. But if you're looking for something reliable and high performing that will hold up through intense sport activities without irritating sensitive skin, Thinksport is a standout. Plus, the clean ingredients and great pricing make it a solid go-to for us. Next up is MyChelle Dermaceuticals Clear Spray SPF 30. This one's a unique pick in our lineup. It's a non-aerosol clear zinc spray. It comes in a twist lock bottle, which makes it great for travel and beach days. Just a quick note, to open it, you have to twist the cap, something that's not immediately obvious, and we didn't notice it at all during our vacation. It retails for around $22 and comes in a 6-ounce spray bottle, and currently is on sale on Amazon. It's not the cheapest option on our list, but you're getting more product than with the smaller tubes. The active ingredient is 12% non-nano zinc oxide, and like the others on the list, it's free from oxybenzone, octinoxate, and chemical UV filters. Application is where it gets a little tricky. Although it's labeled clear, it does come out white, and it left a visible white layer. The texture is definitely light, which is a plus, but unfortunately, it also stained our swimwear and beach towels, and the stains didn't wash away in the water. We really did not enjoy that experience. So despite being called a clear spray, it can definitely leave a white cast if not rubbed in well. It is completely fragrance-free, which we really love, and is gentle on the skin. That's also great. Durability-wise, we didn't have the best experience. Unfortunately, my partner and I both had patches of sunburn using using the sunscreen repeatedly on several days. It says it's water resistant for 80 minutes, but it seems like this product is okay for lighter sun exposure like walking around the beach. It did not exactly hold up under direct, intense sunlight, all-day water activities. So overall, we don't recommend MyChelle Dermaceuticals Clear Spray for strong sun conditions. While it wins points for light formula and ease of use, the poor durability and misleading clear label make it a weak option for any real outdoor protection and intense beach day conditions. We give it 3 out of 10 points for the inconsistent performance, white cast issues, and the risk of staining and sunburn. Next up is the Badger Adventure Unscented SPF 50. It's a water-resistant mineral sunscreen loved by surfers, and I actually discovered this one thanks to a lifeguard in Hawaii beginning of this year. When I had forgotten to bring my sunscreen, I walked up to this guy and he handed me Badger. He said he had skin cancer on his face, and after doing a lot of research, this was the brand that he trusted and recommended. That really stuck with me, and I've been curious about it ever since, and finally we got it to test ourselves. Right now, the 2.9 ounce tube retails for around $18 depending on where you buy it. The active ingredient is 25% uncoated, non-nano, clear zinc oxide. There's no oxybenzone, no octinoxate, no synthetic fragrance, and no harsh preservatives. It is really one of the cleanest formulas, rated excellent on the Yuka app and backed by certifications from EWG. Now, when it comes to the ingredients, it is oil-based rather than lotion-like and filled with ingredients like sunflower seed oil, beeswax, vitamin E, and it's actually one of the most natural chemical-free sunscreens we have found, and it's safe for marine life, and there is very few ingredients you can see for yourself. Bonus points from our research: Badger is made in a solar-powered facility, comes in recycled packaging, and is NSF certified. As far as the texture goes, it's very thick, almost paste-like. At first it can feel a bit hard to spread, but when you rub it in with care, it starts to go on more smoothly. I did need to take some time applying it, and I found that a little goes a long way rather than using a bigger amount. It does leave a slight oily finish, especially if it's hot outside, but never felt greasy to me, more like a natural sheen. The white cast is surprisingly minimal for how thick the formula is, especially if you rub it in properly on dry skin. It's completely unscented, which I really love. In terms of durability, Badger feels very resilient. We tested it during long beach days, ocean swim, hikes, travel days, and it performed consistently. It did not need constant reapplication. It seems like it grips the skin really well. And yes, you will need a good scrub in the shower to really remove it at the end of the day. So overall, Badger Adventure SPF 50 is one of our top picks. We love the ultra clean ingredient list, the thoughtful sustainability practices, and the reliable performance in high UV conditions. We also appreciated the hypoallergenic formula for sensitive skin and how little you need to get the full protection. The downside is the thick texture, and it's also a bit on a pricier side. We give it 8 out of 10 points, only for the paste-like consistency, but for good protection and ultra clean ingredients and a brand that also cares for the environment, it's really hard to beat. Next up is Beauty by Earth's Mineral Sunscreen SPF 25. It's a natural option that caught our attention for its clean formula. Ultimately didn't earn a top spot in our lineup. It retails for around $20 for a 4-ounce tube, which puts it on the higher end of mid-range for mineral sunscreens, especially considering how much you need per application. This is a 14% non-nano zinc oxide formula with aloe vera, green tea extract, safflower oil, coconut oil, shea butter, all great for nourishing sensitive skin. It's also cruelty-free and doesn't use any synthetic fragrance or chemical UV filters. Sounds great, but in practice there are some drawbacks. First, the texture. It's really thick. You have to warm it up a little bit between your hands and rub it in really well. Otherwise, it just sits there and leaves white streaks. That said, once you rub it in properly, it doesn't feel greasy or sticky. It actually feels quite moisturizing, almost like a heavy cream, and the word heavy is important here. The formula actually feels a little heavy on top of the skin once it sets in. White cast was a bit of a hit or miss. On my fair to medium skin, it blended out okay with enough effort, but the downside, I noticed it formed a white residue when sweating. About the scent, I personally really love it. It's a very light coconut scent with hints of vanilla. Definitely one of the best smelling sunscreens I tried on the list. And in terms of protection and durability, it did work well as long as we remembered to reapply it frequently. It's labeled as water resistant for 80 minutes. It did reasonably well during light water activities and poolside lounging, but for long hours in the ocean or intense sunlight exposure, we wouldn't really rely on it or recommend it. Also, it's only SPF 25. We also have to mention the size. The bottle is relatively small, and because of the thick formula, you end up using more than you would expect. I think it's possible you run out of the tube after about 3 body applications. So overall, Beauty by Earth SPF 25 is definitely a clean, reef-safe sunscreen with great ingredients and beautiful, pleasant scent, but the thick and little heavier texture, plus the pricing, or let's say the price to performance ratio, make it hard to recommend across the board. It could work for low sun exposure outings or for people with very dry and sensitive skin because of moisturizing properties, but we give it 5.5 out of 10. Next up, we have Mad Hippie Ultra Sheer Body SPF 40. Now, this is one of the most polarizing sunscreens in this lineup. It retails for around $20 for 4 ounces, and the active ingredients is 20.5 zinc oxide. It's also packed with skin-friendly ingredients like shea butter, red raspberry, seed oil, avocado oil, and cucumber extract. It's also cruelty-free, a huge plus, and made without synthetic fragrance or harmful chemicals. But despite the ultra sheer label, the texture is on the thicker side and more like a creamy lotion than a liquid sunscreen. It does take some time to blend in, and while there's no dramatic white cast, there can be a subtle pale finish if you don't work it in properly. It feels rich and slightly oily, especially in humid weather, which we experience staying in an apartment facing the ocean. While that might work for dry skin or cooler climates, I find it a little too greasy for hot beach days. It tends to attract sand and felt like it sat on top of my skin. On the upside, it felt very gentle and moisturizing, and I didn't experience any irritation or breakouts. For the scent, it's fragrance-free. Protection-wise, it held up well for outdoor activities like walking on the beach or late afternoon sunbed tanning. It says it's water resistant for 80 minutes, but it really felt like it needs to be reapplied every time we went swimming, and I wouldn't trust it for a full day of ocean swimming or intense sun exposure. Overall, Mad Hippie's Body SPF 40 is a clean, nourishing sunscreen that's great for everyday light use situation, especially if you want something moisturizing and non-toxic. But if you need a matte finish or strong durability in intense conditions, this won't be your best bet. We give it 4.5 out of 10. Next up is one of the most well-known reef-safe sunscreens in the scuba diving community, Stream 2C Active SPF 45. It retails around $24 for just 2.5 ounces, making it one of the priciest picks per ounce in our lineup. It uses 19% eco-safe zinc oxide as the active ingredient. The formula includes green tea, tulsi, olive leaf, aloe vera, wakame seaweed extract. All of these are support for the skin with soothing benefits. It's also biodegradable and cruelty-free. On paper, it checks all the boxes, and that's why we were really excited to give it a try, especially for snorkeling and other water activities. But in practice, there are some clear trade-offs. The texture is incredibly thick. It feels almost like spreading cold butter. It takes serious effort to rub it in, and even then, it doesn't fully disappear and leaves a visible white cast. Even if you really work it in well, it settles into the skin folds like elbows and neck folds. Unfortunately, the thick white finish never fully goes away, which makes it feel like it's sitting on the surface rather than absorbing. That can really attract some sand and leave you feeling coated rather than protected, and when you're sweating, it feels a little unpleasant, like you're wearing an extra layer of something on top of your skin. And with the bottle this small, we kind of hope this would go long way, but because of how thick the formula is, you end up needing quite a bit per use, which means it goes fast. That being said, the formula performance is really great. It performs well underwater, it doesn't sting the eyes, It's fragrance-free and it holds strong enough snorkeling and being immersed in water for hours. After all-day water activities, we had 0 sunburns and it really felt like solid protection. It also gets extra points for its strong focus on the environment, serving the scuba diving community and always keeping in mind the coral reefs. Even the packaging is made from sugarcane resin, a renewable resource that helps reduce plastic pollution. So overall, Stream to Sea Active is not the easiest sunscreen to use. It has thick texture, sticky feel, and white cast, and that makes the application a little frustrating. We give it 6.5 out of 10, but if your priority is serious sun protection, all-day ocean activities for scuba divers and snorkels and eco-conscious travelers, this formula still earns a spot in our gear bag. Now, next up is Little Hands Hawaii Tinted SPF 35. It is a reef-safe mineral sunscreen that's earned loyal fans across the Hawaii Islands. It is handcrafted in small batches using local organic ingredients and comes in eco-friendly packaging in a reusable tin. We found it at local markets while traveling in Hawaii and immediately loved it. The tinted version retails for $18 for 3.4 ounces, which is a great value compared to many smaller, more expensive reef-safe options. Thanks to the balm-like consistency, a little goes a long way, which is a big plus. The active ingredient is 23% non-nano zinc oxide, and the formula is packed with skin-nourishing oils like organic coconut, macadamia, jojoba, shea butter, and vitamin E and beeswax. It's all natural, free from any synthetic UV filters or preservatives. The scent is frankincense, and I personally love it. It's an essential oil that I really enjoy. When it comes to texture, it's a solid creamy-like texture, so you need to swirl your fingers over it or glide it directly onto your skin and then rub it in. I like the blendable finish, and it can be taken on airplane because of its size in a carry-on. Despite the tinted version, unfortunately, it does leave a visible chalky look and a white cast. As for performance, it delivers. I used it in Hawaii for 3 to 4 hour beach sessions and had 0 burns. It really lasted long in terms of water activities. I did reapply it very intentionally every hour or so, and it holds up well in intense sun. The downsides could be the frankincense scent is not for everyone, and while the tint helps the white cast, it can stain clothing with light colors. But if you're looking for locally made, reef-safe sunscreen, Little Hands Hawaii is a solid pick if you want to protect the coral reefs. Unfortunately, for the slight white sheen, we give it 6 out of 10 points. We do appreciate the nourishing formula and performance, and give points for the locally owned small business. And last, we have the Blue Lizard Sensitive, one of the most well-known and widely trusted mineral sunscreen brands, and also Amazon's choice with over 3,500 reviews. Their sensitive formula is marketed for all skin types, including skin prone to irritation, and it retails for around $15 for 5 ounces, and it's currently on sale on Amazon, making it one of the most affordable reef-safe options on the market. The formulation features 10% zinc oxide, 8% titanium dioxide, both mineral UV filters that offer broad spectrum SPF 50+, and it's also free of oxybenzone and octinoxate, the 2 ingredients most frequently linked to coral bleaching and banned in reef areas like Hawaii. That aligns with the most current definition of reef safe, but is it really reef safe? Under current legal and dermatological standards, yes. In fact, National Geographic named it the overall best reef safe sunscreen, citing its skin-friendly formula, broad spectrum protection, and good wearability. But Blue Lizard does not specify whether its zinc and titanium are non-nano, which according to our research is a red flag for stricter environmentalists. Nano-sized particles are small enough to be absorbed by marine life. Some ocean advocates recommend avoiding them altogether. Another thing, Reef Safe label is not regulated in the US, and this is the perfect example. You can be featured in National Geographic as Reef Safe, be legally safe to use in Hawaii, but not really revealing whether you use as a brand nanoparticles. That is questionable, and this is why we mentioned this brand at the end of this list. The thing is, we really love this formula. It's on the thicker side and it looks white at first, but it blends in better than most sunscreen after a few minutes. It's also non-greasy and it doesn't peel or stain clothing. It has no scent, which is great, and it's made for sensitive skin. And I personally didn't notice any white cast, which was really refreshing because that's really hard to achieve with high zinc SPF based sunscreen. And it also lasted all day, so for durability, it gets extra points as well. Overall, Blue Lizard Sensitive SPF 50 Plus is one of the most affordable and dermatologist trusted mineral sunscreen on the market. This zinc-based formula works really well for sensitive skin, all at a very good price. There's no scent, no irritation, it holds up all day, but some points off. It's legally reef safe and even recommended by National Geographic, but it doesn't specify whether it uses non-nano minerals. That's a key detail for a reef conscious user, so while it's solid everyday pick with great durability, we actually wouldn't call it the most transparent option out there. So we give it 6 out of 10 for protection and wearability and price, but we didn't like the lack of full ingredient clarity, which is a shame because we really love this one. Now, this was the last sunscreen on our list, so thank you guys so much for watching. We hope this roundup helped you choose the best reef-safe sunscreen, and if you've tried any of these or you have any other favorites we didn't mention, let us know in the comments. Also, don't forget to check the links in the description for the Amazon links organized by our ranking. And remember, these are affiliate links, which means we earn a small commission if you make a purchase. It helps us buy more products to test for our community and keep sharing the best in health and wellness for conscious consumers like yourself. Thank you so much. Have an amazing summer and see you in our next video.